Everybody, Matt the Matt here, and today we are talking about the new animated live-action movie, Lilo and Stitch. What are you doing? You want to join? You want to come in? Come on! Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest today. Give me one moment. Stitch! Stitch! Say hi! 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 So, we know Disney. Disney likes to remake their animated movies. We've known that for a while now. They started it with, all the way back with Alice in Wonderland in 2010. Then they went to Maleficent. Then Cinderella. Then they did The Jungle Book. Then they did Beauty and the Beast. And then we had Aladdin, The Lion King, and so on and so forth. And even earlier this year, we had Snow White, which I already reviewed before. A couple years ago, we had The Little Mermaid. You get the point. Okay, we had Mulan. We had Fat Mulan in 2020. Fat Mulan. I'm still waiting on, a couple other ones. Hercules. What about Hercules movie? Hercules. Now we have Lilo and Stitch. And this is probably the quickest from the original to now the live-action movie that we've got. The original, the animated film, came out in 2002. I'm going to be honest. I'm an honest guy. I have never been a huge fan of the original. I saw it in the theater in 2002, the summer, at United Artists at North Point Mall. I think my sister came with me. My grandparents took us. It was the summer, like I said. But for some reason, I saw it. I think, okay, a little blue alien. But it never really stuck with me. There are some Disney films that never stick with me. The Emperor's New Groove, not a fan. I've probably lost a lot of subscribers after saying that. But only thing I remember, 2002. 2002 was that was a big summer for the movies. We had the original Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, first movie. Oh yeah. We had Men in Black 2. Finally a sequel to the original Men in Black. Oh yeah. We had Attack of the Clones, Star Wars, where we, fans, got to learn what Anakin Skywalker really hates the most. Sand. I hate sand. It gets everywhere. No shit. And we had the first live-action, computer-animated Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo, where are you? And there were other movies that came out that summer that I'm not thinking of right now, but I named a few of them. So yeah, there you go. And like I said, we got Lilo and Stitch. But I was looking forward to this one. I know, that's weird. You're not that big of a fan of the original, but you want to see the live action? Hey! This little blue guy in computer animated form. I want to see the CGI. If Disney, that's how it came back up their game, like they did with Davy Jones and Pirates. And let me tell you, we have a real winner. It's a winner. I'm going to say it, I enjoyed this movie. I had a lot of fun. It was fun. It was heartwarming. The CGI on Stitch, not that one. What, is that the real one? You don't know? I don't know. You don't know. The CGI on Stitch was great. It felt as real as you can be with this type of creature. Yeah. So I was pleasantly surprised that the CGI was top notch, like Disney should have all the time, like Davy Jones. But let's get into other things. Other positives. Sydney Agudong, I don't know how to say her last name. She plays Nani, the older sister. I've never seen this actress before. You know, for a family-friendly kids movie, I thought she did a good job. I never thought she was phoning it in. I never thought she wasn't doing that great of a job. She had great chemistry with Lilo, the little girl who plays in the movie. I thought their sister relationship really worked. It felt real. I thought the heartwarming moments worked. I thought the moments where Lilo was getting her sister annoyed and pissing her off was great. Just like brothers and sisters and siblings do all the time. Trust me, I have a younger sister. When she was younger, we didn't call her Devil Woman for no reason. There was a reason. Okay? There's always a reason. A little girl, Maya Kalucha, who plays Lilo. Oh my god. This little girl is, if she doesn't go down the Disney downfall, she's going to end up being the next Lindsay Lohan, but in a positive way. Okay? In a positive way. She can become the next Lindsay Lohan, rising up, and instead of making that curve, keep going the straight and narrow, okay? Don't go here, go here. Well, she reminded me of Lindsay Lohan when Lindsay Lohan was in The Parent Trap. Even though Lindsay Lohan was a little bit older than this little girl is right now, I still think this girl, she's funny. She can bring emotion at times. She can be serious. She's interacting with a computer-animated creature this whole movie. Sometimes it's just her and Stitch. And I'm sure they had like this type of thing, or a furry fucker Stitch on set. I'm sure she just wasn't looking at nothing. Especially for a little girl that age. But still, she was able to make it believable and make us care about their relationship, Lilo and Stitch. That by the end of the movie, when we have Stitch saying, it's not broken, they're family, whatever he says. I was getting a little choked up, I gotta admit. Even I was getting a little choked up by that. And I think it was because, once again, you believe this relationship. A lot of it has to do with the great CGI, and then I said the great acting by this little girl. So, win-win. Like I said, Stitch, the CGI, great. I never felt like, oh, look at that shot. Especially interacting with the humans, interacting in real locations. CGI looked great, even on the other creatures. I thought the CGI looked great. And by the way, people, let me explain something to you. This movie was originally supposed to go to Disney Plus, because at the time that they were making this movie, the original head of Disney, Bob Chapek, like, yeah, once we put it on Disney Plus, like all like the Pixar movies, and the this movie, and the that movie, like the Black Beauty movie from 2020. Let's just put it on Disney Plus. Yeah. Well, then Bob Iger returned and said, no. This is Lilo and Stitch. The original was a hit. This movie is going to make a lot of money at the box office. And sure enough, after the Memorial Day weekend now, the movie was projected between 150 and 170. The movie made $183 million opening weekend. 183. The movie has made almost more money in 3 days than the Snow White movie did back in March in its entire run. So yes, Bob Iger made a great decision. And why I say that is, this was going to go on streaming, and this movie only cost $100 million to make. And the CGI looks great. Only $100 million to make. Okay? Not Snow White, which was $250. Not The Little Mermaid, which was like $250, $300. Or The Lion King. No, this was only made for $100 million. And it looked great. The humor. I was laughing throughout this movie. Once again, Stitch doing all his shenanigans cracked me up. Even the little girl had some great moments that cracked me up. You're gonna laugh. It's heartwarming. Like I said, the bond between the two sisters is great. The bond between Lilo and Stitch is great. It's heartwarming. It makes you feel good. So, you got that. Also, you got Tia Carrera in here as the social worker. I can't speak today. I'm becoming like Stitch. Hi. Tia Carrera, apparently she was in the original, one of the voices. I don't know if she played the older sister in the original or the voice. But obviously, if you know Tia Carrera, now people this generation does not, but people around my generation know Tia Carrera from Wayne's World, True Lies. Yeah. So it was nice to see her. She's almost 60 years old. Still looks great. Stitch, here's a record, and it's Elvis. So, throughout this movie, and they brought that back into this movie, throughout the movie, most of the music you hear in the movie is from Elvis songs. So if you're an Elvis fan, you're going to love hearing his Elvis music. Now you can go watch the Elvis movie that came out a couple of years ago, and then watch Lilo and Stitch. My negatives though. Zach Galifianakis plays the main alien coming in to try and kidnap Stitch and bring him back up to space. I don't think people know Zach Galifianakis from The Hangover, from Due Date, mainly from The Hangover. I thought he was miscast here. I don't know, he wasn't playing this evil alien. And most of the movie we see him. Like if it was just his voice, that would have been fine. But I guess because they would need since the budget was only $100 million, they said, well, we can't have him all CGI, the alien creature, because we got Stitch. He's the main focus. So they decided to make some of the aliens, once they came to Earth, turn into human form, take over someone's human form. And I thought that now didn't work. Courtney V. Vance is this detective, police officer, trying to also investigate like the spaceship landing, crashing on Earth. So he's investigating it. His name in the movie is Cobra Bubbles. And I'm sorry. If that's the name of the character in the original animated film, okay, that's animated, that's kid friendly. But when you're in live action and you got Courtney B. Vance and his name is Cobra Bubbles, I'm sorry. Cobra's fine. Cobra's badass. Cobra Bubbles? You lost me. You lost me on the bubbles. Sorry. I wish I had bubbles. I feel like in Finding Nemo, when they open up the little thing, bubbles. Bubbles. My bubbles. Yeah, I just didn't, no. Every time he came on screen, he said his name, Cobra Bubbles. I'm like, buddy, they're annoying, Anyway, overall, this is definitely one of the better animated films to live action that Disney has given us. But once again, I'm not a huge fan of the original, so some people might be like, no, the original is way better. Me personally, I enjoyed it. Plus, it's set in Hawaii, a lot of the Hawaiian landscapes, the water, the beach, the sand, people wearing bikinis. Hey, this is one of those movies, if I was going down to Florida, going to the beach, I would probably put this on one evening. Hey, let's put on Lilo and Stitch. They get that summery vibe. Overall, I would give this like a 4.3 out of 5. I had fun with it. Like I said, I think it is one of the better animated live action films. Up there with Aladdin, up there with Cinderella, up there with The Jungle Book. But you let me know in the comments. Are you a fan of Lilo and Stitch? They're already working on a sequel, apparently. Hey, when the movie made $183 million opening weekend. So let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And Stitch, what do you think? That's what he says.